Welcome back to another week of Limbus Company, new E.G.O overview, and patch note analysis. This week we don't have new IDs, instead we've got two new E.G.Os thanks to the rerun of Miracle in District 20 that's going to be coming out with this update. The Christmas Nightmare He E.G.Os for both Gregor and Ishmael. And of course, since this is the first rerun we're getting, there's a lot of info on that and just how that works. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Starting, of course, with one of the E.G.Os, Christmas Nightmare Ishmael.
괴물이요? 무슨 잘못 본 거겠죠. 아무도 못 봤지? 호기심은 나쁜 거야. 넘치면 어둠에게 잡아먹히거든.
It's a Tremor E.G.O. It's Sloth, it's very clear. Ishmael and Gregor, they're both Tremor E.G.Os with a bit of sinking stuff on the side. It's mainly Tremor focused, which is interesting. Not exactly sure how much use to get on sinking, but it's interesting stuff. Neither of them have any, like, proper Tremor E.G.Os, right? Because, like, Ishmael is Snag Harpoon and Gregor is Legger Domain, both of which have Tremor Bursts and a little bit of Tremor Infliction, but very minor, and these are going to serve as being a little bit more Tremor. So as to what this E.G.O does, Christmas Nightmare, on Awakening, it's a 2-coin Blunt Sloth skill. If target has less than a certain amount of SP, deal more damage based on how much less. Before attack, gain highest resonance Tremor count, so it's going to be good for the 2 self-Tremor Ishmaels. Most notably, Zvi West Ishmael, of course, and she's the one that's like really Tremor-y. Molar Boatworks also has some self-Tremor stuff, so can get mileage out of it. But you don't really pay a lot of attention to Molar Boatworks' self-Tremor, just because it's a very weird. And the main payoff is Fragile Infliction with the skill 3, which is pretty solid, admittedly, but it's a bit weirder. You're not really running her on a Tremor team is the thing. You're running her on a sinking team, if anything. But yeah, if there's any targets that are staggered, low morale, or panic states, heal SP after attack. So whether or not it be enemies that you staggered with the attack or enemies that were staggered when you use the attack, you can get some SP back, depending on how many enemies are like that and depending on how much SP you heal. Very possible you can just get all your SP back in the right circumstances from this one. On hit with the first coin, inflict Tremor count. If the target isn't staggered, low morale, or panic, inflict sinking and trigger Tremor burst. And reduce target's Tremor count if the Tremor burst goes through. And second coin, also Tremor burst and reduce the target's Tremor count. So, potential 2 Tremor bursts on this E.G.O, that's for sure. It depends on, they need to be not staggered, low morale, panicked, which should be doable most of the time. You're really not going to be running, like, sinking Tremor hybrid stuff, and, like, the sinking from this isn't that notable. You do get some benefits for going for enemies that are already low SP, but it's very weird. Like, the general flow of this one seems to be you want to use it on people whose sanity is a little low or a little close to being staggered, but not quite there yet, right? So you can get the sinking infliction and the Tremor burst, and then you can get some SP back from the after attack conditional, which is simple enough. It makes a lot of sense for, like, the theming of the E.G.O. You know, you want to give them a good scare, that sort of thing. The E.G.O Corrosion, on the other hand, once again Sloth Blunt, but a 3-coin instead of a 2-coin. Targets randomly, gain base power if the main target is staggered, low morale, or panicked. And you gain highest resonance Tremor count once again, and you heal HP, and you heal SP afterwards. So similar, like, effects to the original one, but just a little bit more power and some HP healing, which can always be nice, right? Since this is a he slot, if you're running this, you're giving up, like, the insane, like, rolls of Ardor Blossom Star, and also, like, the potential really good healing and real good damage of Wingbeat. So that kind of helps make up for that in some sense, right? But yeah, first coin, Tremor count, target isn't staggered or low morale, panic state, inflict sinking and sinking count. So there's a bit of sinking count infliction here. I can't imagine it's that worth corroding this skill for sinking. Ishmael's already got a pretty solid sinking E.G.O with Bygone Days, being able to set up Echoes of the Manor with that and that sort of thing, and whatever the uninvited, like, whatever, not that people really pay attention to that part too much, but I don't know, seems like it's just a way to get their SP down during the attack. Second coin and third coin both do the exact same thing, but with triggering Tremor Burst and reducing the target's Tremor count, as you can see. So once again, also 2 Tremor Bursts here, a little bit weirder. That's for sure because of the fact that they both require the conditional of them not being staggered and stuff, and to heal SP based on every enemy staggered. Since it's an ego that heals its SP from corrosion, it's very possible it ends up being like an awakening corrosion too, or like a negative coin anyways. It's just all about getting your SP back up after using it. I'm not fully sure. A lot of ways this could go. It's a very simple like gameplay of this. Depending on the numbers, it definitely could pay off decently. What's probably going to be the strongest part of this all is the ego passive. A gaze in the shadows. Allies gain more tremor count from skill or coin effects. If the allies target is staggered, low morale, or panic states, gain even more tremor count, and does not stagger with ego gets the same effect. Just as long as you use this ego, everyone on your team is just going to be able to build up the tremor count even faster. This is definitely the main selling point of this ego. Depending on how this goes, I wouldn't be surprised if it is capped, like if it'll be like once per ally per turn or something like that, which definitely can make it a little weaker, but could be pretty solid. Do you want Ishmael on Tremor teams decently because Vi West is solid, not like a mainstay of the team, but like she's a pretty solid addition. Just being able to just get a lot of Tremor bursts off and that sort of thing, get some good infliction going with her skill 3. But yeah, as far as what it means by it does not stack with ego gifts with the same effect, assumably the event's gonna have an ego gift that does this exact same thing. Either that or like one of the random ego gifts, like is it like the pocket watches or something like that from the time healing time floor, I think might also give you more tremor count from your skills, so maybe it doesn't stack with that. Wouldn't be surprised if there's some, you know, new ego gift on the new floor that is basically just that passive's effect, but from this Abno. But yeah, that's Christmas Nightmare Ishmael. Overall, seems like she might be a really good utility for Tremor. Depending on the cap of that passive, that's going to be the main benefit, right? And also the fact that you can potentially heal your SP back depending on how you use this ego, to the point where you might end up you might gain net positive sanity depending on the numbers. Could be pretty solid, because it gets rid of one of like the big trade-offs of using the ego for the sake of building up the passive. But of course, that's only one of the Christmas nightmares. It's time we take a look at the other one, of course. Once again, Sloth, once again this time for Gregor.
괴물을 봤다고? 혹시 이런 모습이던가? 두려워, 공격, 어려운 침대에 괴물이 살고 있지.
I gotta talk about how much I love the little plushies and the corrosion. They're just so, like, they're so cool looking. They're so funny looking. I love them. Anyways, Christmas Nightmare Gregor. Like I said, oh no, it's Slash. I don't know. I thought it was Blunt. No, it's Slash Sloth 2-coin. Same, close enough. Close enough. It's still also Sloth. It's still also Tremor and a little bit of sinking. A little bit weird to hear because as far as using Gregor on Tremor, it's a bit of an odd thing to do because like. He's got Rose Spanner, and like that's his main like Tremor ID, and you really do not want to use Rose Spanner for Tremor. Is there anything else I'm forgetting about? Like, I don't see if some random Tremor and some Rose, like his Vi ID isn't Tremor, it's like no status effects, I don't know. Not sure how this is gonna go. But yeah, so 2-coin slash Sloth skill, target is less than XSP, deal more damage based on how low it is, similar to Ishmael's. Add max HP, heal SP at turn end, and gain attack power up next turn. So that's interesting. If you're at max HP, you can get some of the SP back up and also attack power up, which could be nice. I don't know. A little weird effect. You will have to be not running either AADD, and AADD obviously you wouldn't want to run if you're using Tremor stuff, right? And you also have to not be using Solemn Lament, which is like a big funny sinking ego, so the sinking on this ego isn't going to be anything special no matter what. There's a bit of a trade-off though for not having Solemn Lament though, which can be real funny on sinking. But yeah, first coin, inflict Tremor Potency, trigger Tremor Burst, reduce the Tremor count. Second coin, heals a percentage of the missing HP on self, so you can heal off a bunch based on how much HP you're missing. And this ties back into the whole thing where at max HP you heal SP, right? Since you can theoretically, you probably can't heal like up to max with this ego, but if you don't get any benefit from the healing because you're already at max, you get some attack power down. Inflict some sinking, target is staggered, low morale or panic states, inflict attack power down and fragility against the affinity of the highest resonance next turn. Yeah, it's very similar to what they tried doing with, like, Garden of Thorns corrosion, where, like, it inflicts, like, attack power down, or is it damage down, or but whatever it is, against the enemies, with the corrosion. And, like, that can do something, but, I think it was attack power down and fragility for the highest sin affinity from corroded Garden of Thorns. In general, like, it's a very hard effect to get mileage out of. Assumably you'll want Sloth Resonance because, well, this is Sloth Ego, it's the easiest to trigger. But, like, there's not a lot of situations where you can realistically get a lot of mileage out of something like that, because most enemies will at least have 2 or 3 different sin affinities. And you need to plan a lot beforehand and know, like, have an intricate knowledge on their patterns to get much mileage out of that effect. I don't know. It's weird. Cool in concept, but we've already seen that, I mean, at least it doesn't cost the insane, like, resources of Garden of Thorns, so it'll be at least a bit more usable than that on a baseline level. As far as the corrosion goes, same coin, same sin affinity, same slash. I guess we haven't had any EGOs that change sin affinities on corrosion, so I don't know why I say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like that one day. Targets randomly. I'm kind of surprised both of these target randomly, right? I'm kind of surprised it's not like, oh, target, like, lowest SP, or, like, whoever's closest to being staggered. That actually could be funny. If there was, like, corrosions that, like, targeted, like, based on who's, like, closest to being staggered. It would probably hit your own allies a lot is the thing, but I don't know. Maybe some corrosion like that where the entire bit is it targets, if it does get a, like, stagger on your allies, you get some benefits, like a less fatal version of Yusong Fell Bullet. I don't know, I digress. Target is less than a certain amount of SP, deal more damage based on how low it is, heal HP before attack, and gain SP and attack power after attack. Since you heal actually before attacking, you can theoretically heal to max because it's not based on a percentage of your missing HP. Definitely can mean you can get that off a bit more frequently, probably. Inflict Tremor, trigger Tremor Burst with the first coin, heal percentage of missing SP, HP on self, inflict Sinking, inflict attack power and fragility against the highest resistance next turn. This is, like, quite simply, I don't know if we have a more, like, bland corrosion ever, because there's only a single line of difference here, right? The only, like, difference between these two, I'm sure the numbers are different, but here, like, the only difference is the heal HP before attack, and, like, the indiscriminate. Otherwise, it's the exact same effects between the two, which is very funny. I don't know. Definitely odd. The numbers are probably going to be better on corrosions. Usually that's what they do to, like, balance it out or something, but, like, the actual effects seem identical, which is funny. Yeah. Ego passive, Insomniac Knight. Against all enemies, combat start, inflict number of enemies in staggered, low morale, or panic states, offense level down, or defense level down. If it's not stacked with Ego gifts to the same effect. Yeah, this also seems like a pretty nice effect to get. Based on how many enemies are staggered, they all get, like, offense level down or defense level down. It sounds like it's random, which kind of is a bit of a pain. I don't know, because that means you might get offense level down on the staggered enemies, right? Like, it benefits you for having a lot of enemies stagger, but it benefits you in a way that prevents them from, like, doing a lot of damage, which they're not going to be doing anyways if there's a lot of enemies that are staggered, so I don't know. Seems like it could be a funny passive. Once again, it doesn't stack with the Ego gift, so there's probably going to be Ego gift on the floor itself that has a similar effect, but the actual use case of this one seems pretty low because it requires you to already be... Well, I mean, it's like a snowball effect, right? Like, it requires you to already be in a strong spot to get any mileage out of it, so... I don't know, it's really cool animation-wise. As far as the actual effects, maybe it'll be better than I think it is. I definitely trashed the attack power down and fragility thing a bit, because they tried it with Garden of Thorns Corrosion, and it's just... not very usable, but it'll be more usable here relatively, because there's other effects, and it's not a VOV that costs 21 Ego resources to corrode. But that's enough for that. Let's take a look at some of the actual information regarding the new event. The Miracle in District 20 Buckek. Buckek is, like, basically means rerun. I think it's also a pun on, like, republishing or something like that. I don't know. That's what I've heard. It'll be added with this update. It'll last for, like, 4 weeks as per usual, I think. Yeah. And, it just requires you to have cleared the tutorial to get, like, the actual, like, rewards, and it requires you to get to the point in the story in order to get the normal version. However, to fight the hard version, you need to have cleared Kanto 6. Which is interesting that it's not, like, further than that, so, like... But I think there's a decent chance it'll still be, like, level 50-ish, like, because clearing candlesticks is how you unlock level 50, so that makes sense. When the event starts, the event page will open, you can earn trinket sacks, voices are being added. It's like a normal event overall, right? That's the main thing. You can watch the combat stages again, you can get rewards again. Thanks to hard mode existing, you can just get a bunch of, you can get a bunch of sacks from that sort of thing. Hard difficulty is just going to be the exact same thing, but you can get EX clear rewards, so you can get more lunacy, and it's just going to be slightly higher leveled. From what we know, there's no mechanical changes, they'll just be all level 50 most likely. Main thing though, Mirror Dungeon's also getting a special rerun version of the Miracle Pack for the time being. It'll be fixed on floor 4 or 5 of hard mode only, and it features special EGO gifts and choice events. Assumably one of the choice events will be for the new Christmas Nightmare Abno. We don't know what the Abno itself is named. Wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like Krampus or something like that, or like something. There's a lot of influences going on with it, so I don't know for sure. The pre-existing theme pack will not be changed. The theme pack will not appear twice in the same run once completed, yada yada, stuff like that, right? And it'll no longer fixed appearance once the event ends, but will still show up. So that sort of thing. The special pack also has the special version also has the ones from the normal Miracle Pack and that sort of thing. And clearing Mirror Dungeon runs gets you trinket sacks once again, and you get even more if you go for the respective floors, right? That sort of thing. Main story, you can get trinket sacks from clearing main story stuff. There's like funny huge trinket sacks. Normal stuff, right? This is stuff to do every event. Event bonus ego. As is often the case, we've got a little bit of benefits for existing and new egos. Since Christmas Neighbor, Ishmael and Gregor have a 40% bonus. Holiday Otis from last year is a 40% bonus. And Holiday Heathcliff, the free one, is 20% bonus. That sort of thing. So it definitely could be worth sharding Holiday Otis in order to get a little bit more bonus if you're trying to grind. But don't shard Holiday Heathcliff, though, because you'll be able to get him for free from the event. Right? And you can also get the announcer from the event too, the little gnome trio. So that'll be funny, right? If you already have stuff that's in the rewards, you don't get anything and you just can't purchase them, so you just don't have to grind as much. Since a lot of the banners are the really expensive stuff, that makes it seem very easy, so that's interesting. And now for the actual update note itself. Update's going to be at the normal time, of course, that sort of thing. It's on the 26th in Korea, or the 25th in, here. So it's like the day after Christmas there, which is certainly interesting. The new Christmas Nightmares count as Season 5 event egos. Holiday Otis will be extractable, but doesn't have an increased chance of being pulled, so you're better off just sharding her if you do want her anyways, since you can just shard her, right? You can use Yi-Song to get her, though, which is interesting. Ideally. Target Distraction Heathcliff. You'll be able to get Holiday Heathcliff from this, which is really bad because he's free right now. Very, very funny, though, that's for sure. But yeah, new content, new packages of random upgrade materials, bunch of random bug fixes. Notably, they fixed the new Poise Fusion gift, so it actually works, which is good. I definitely noticed that it wasn't working, and it's a very, very funny effect. So I'm glad that it's working so you can actually get some good mileage out of it. And of course, 300 Lunacy. The usual. But yeah, all in all, event looks like it's going to be fun. I'm not going to bother like streaming or recording or anything. I'll just do it on my own time since I've already seen it all before. I'll just get to listen to it and that sort of thing. So that's nice. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!